Here is our strategy on how to beat Terminus Island in 15 minutes. And this is the strategy we used that actually got us second place on the world record for ZWR. So follow along in this video and I'm going to show you exactly what we do. So to start, as a team of 4, we all start with the following gum. So we start with Raindrop and Tactical Diffusion, and one of us brings in a profit sharing, and we do all 4 of us with that cash drop. So we get around a 100k per person, more if you pop the profit sharing, and that helps an absolute ton when trying to get points to rush through the map. So we have all that and taken care of and done before the first door is even open. Here we were a little behind, but we're still cruising, and we're going to go ahead and knock out the points. And the next thing you're going to want to bring, that we recommend at least 2 to 3 of you put on your default pack, is a Wonder Bar, because we need to get the Beam Smasher as quickly as possible, so that way we can continue the Easter egg. Now the key here is to just keep moving and be in constant communication with what you guys are doing next, and just make sure that you are following along and keeping up with each other. I ended up getting screwed here. We actually all did, and it ended up taking us a 4th Wonder Bar to get the Beam Smasher. Otherwise, I do think we could have done this in maybe 30 to 45 seconds faster, give or take maybe a minute, I don't know. But we did get the Beam Smasher still relatively quick. The moment you get that, whoever pulls the Beam Smasher, you need to make sure that they immediately sprint to the vent that contains the hard drive. Now, by this point, you will already know if it's the one next to Jug or if it's down in the labs. Preferably in the best run with the best RNG, you would get the Wonder Bar hit, you would get the Beam Smasher off the first go, and the hard drive would be right up there next to Jug. Unfortunately, ours was down in the power room, which I do think ate up a little bit more time, but we're still cooking here with just 2 minutes on the clock. And now, once you have all that, you're going to want to just hit the gum machine and do it when it's convenient. Don't spend a lot of time, but just try to grab your Perkaholic and Hidden Power. These are going to help you immensely through the fight and the run, just to make sure that you're as powerful as you need to be and that you can do everything needed as quickly as possible. Now, a insta-kill is also helpful to bring in for the Nate fight, so we do recommend bringing that. And other than those Gobblegums, we do also do, as of right now, which I'm assuming this will be patched come Season 4, but we do the Drill Charge Free Fire method because that takes out Patient 13 the fastest. But if that does not work and is patched, what we will be using after that is the Maelstrom Shotty, which I have posted videos and builds for in the past. You are welcome to check out. That weapon with Napalm absolutely turns Patient 13 into calamari as quickly as possible and is super awesome to use even without a gum. Now, by this point, we've got pack open. We are 3 minutes in, and I am going to pack up my weapon to max, and that's about all we're going to do. Now, I'm just going to pop my Perkaholic and Hidden Power, and I am completely ready to go. Now, at this point, the person with the Wonder Bar that got the Beam Smasher has already grabbed the hard drive and dropped it off. I am just down here waiting to enter the code, and we are just kind of moving as a unit. And I do have the 4 screens up here so you can see my main one and then the other POVs of the other 3 teammates here off to the side. That way you can kind of keep up with the full run and see what that looks like from all 4 of us. Now, this part is a little annoying. There are a few parts in this that have dialogue a little more than I like, and takes a little bit of time and definitely eats into the time. But it is what it is. Everybody's got to deal with it. So once you get your code, punch that in. And at this point, everybody should be piled onto Nate because you want to get this fight done as quickly as humanly possible. So make sure to synchronize and activate those valves. We could have been a little faster here, but we're still making good time. And you're going to go ahead and activate Nate. Once Nate spawns in, you're going to want to go ahead and pop that insta-kill, and you guys should be able to fry him relatively quickly. Even without free fire, I'd recommend popping those drill charges you have at him, as they do with the insta-kill take off a considerable amount of health. But we're just going to keep cruising here, and you want to make sure to keep an eye on your time. And after this, we're going to need a few shock charges to skip the boat. And if you aren't familiar with that, I will show you once we get out to the boat for the keycard step. Now you see here, Nate was out of his tank a total of 5 seconds, and we went ahead and fried him. Always skip cutscenes. I do believe those eat into your time, and I'm immediately going to yeet myself off into the water here, and we all need to head to the boat. Now at this time, I think it was just me and Yellow that went to the boat. The other 2 players actually used this downtime to get a gobblegum that they needed, so because we had a little bit of time, they were prepping where the pipes went, so we knew where those were going to be, and Zoomer was just getting his final perkaholic and hidden power. You want to make sure to use any small fractions of time you may have between steps to try to get those last couple perks and gobblegums that you may need to complete the run, because having everything and being as powerful as possible is key. Now immediately upon grabbing the node, turn around, hit the shock charge, and if done correctly right on the latch, it will cancel and skip that step, which is absolutely crucial and key to this being done as quickly as possible. In my opinion, if you fail that, the whole Easter egg speed run is chalked and you got to restart. So bring in some shock charges and get that done. Make sure to hit the latch and do not fail this step, because I have a couple times and it's extremely annoying, but it kind of does make or break the entire speed run. We go ahead and head back. We've got the first one of the nodes done, and there's going to be a little bit of downtime again. Now, once you put this node in and we go up to grab the hacking device, we're going to go ahead and do anything we need to do, like anything that you would want to have finished and ready for the boss, like if you don't have a perkaholic or your hidden power or your free fire gum, this is the time to do it. So the person that is up at the hidden power and the person that is at the hacking device is going to hit the gum machine. While waiting for the hacking device, I actually had to switch to my other gum pack, and everybody else should be doing the same and chilling at the boat. That way we can get ready for the boss fight. So at this point, everybody should be grabbing their final gum and heading into the final phase of their setup, so that way we're ready for the final encounter. Now at this point, there's just going to be a ton of rambling, and you can just kind of hit the gum machine. Just make sure you're nearby, because the moment that thing pops out, you need to grab it and bounce. And I think you're on the 3rd hit. I end up getting my free fire. Nope, not that one. We're going to go ahead and wait. I think maybe it's the 4th or 5th, but yet still Peck has not given us the hacking device, which is extremely annoying. Now we're going to go ahead and keep hitting the gum machine. I think it may have even taken me 5 to try and get the free fire. There we go. On the 5th, I did go ahead and get it, and the hacking device should be coming out any second. Now, once we have the hacking device, you should have a designated driver down there and ready to go. That way you guys can hit the boat and get those hacked immediately. Anybody who's not going on the boat needs to either be down in the labs or hitting the gumball machine near the labs, because as soon as you guys pull into the labs, everybody needs to be in there and ready to go. You're going to want to have 3 ether shrouds at least. That way you've got 1 for each bomb. Everybody pop an ether shroud, and then you can go ahead and hack the bombs immediately. So I'm going to head down here to the buoys, and we're going to hack these quickly. And you'll see here, we do this in one quick swoop. You do not want to stop too long at a buoy. Just kind of slide it and go. Just go through, grab it, hack it, and bounce. So I position up right here on the front corner of the boat, and Zoomy pulls up nice and quickly. I go ahead and grab the hacking device for the first buoy, and we're on our way. You want to replicate this for all 3 buoys ideally, and this will help to get this step done in the fastest and most efficient way possible. Now, be extremely careful for the gas clouds out here, because Patient 13 gassing you out and taking any of you out or destroying the boat could potentially ruin the speed run if it's done in the wrong area. Now, we did grab that one and bounce a little bit off the buoy, but it's okay. We were able to keep going. You just want to make sure to keep this moving as quickly as possible and try to not stop unless it's absolutely necessary. So here we're heading into the final buoy. You see me checking my time a few times. We are getting antsy. We are at the 10-minute mark, and we're about to go into the boss fight. So there is the 3rd, and once you're hacking that, everybody should be heading to the bomb of their choice. Now by this point, everybody should know what step they're doing. I was actually on door activation because I had to use my Ether Shroud earlier in the run, but everybody else still has theirs. So Zoomer, Tiggy, and Kay will be heading to the different bombs located around this lab, and I'm going to head directly to the boss door and just sit here and wait to activate the boss. Now, once you do this step, that is the toughest part of the speed run, I think, and the next part is just synchronizing up those free fires and taking out Patient 13 quickly and efficiently. So now we got to let Modi do her complaining and taunting and just kind of ignore her because we're about to complete this in record time and she's not even going to know what happened or hit her. So go ahead and pop those Ether Shrouds, get those bombs hacked the moment they come out. You should all be at them with those Ether Shrouds and nothing should bother you. And at this point, you will have to listen to a little bit more dialogue before you can activate the door. And once you activate the door, remember to skip the cutscene. We're not here for story or cutscenes. We need to get through all of this as quickly as possible. So the moment you see the unlock, hit the final encounter, everybody vote, and get in there as quickly as possible. Now at this point, you should have 3 people with the free fire and drill charge ready to go, and this will make quick work. So we're going to head into the boss fight. Make sure to skip the moment you get the cutscene. We're going to skip that and go right to the fight. So I immediately always cut right and I start shooting. I believe Tiggy was our first on the free fire, or Zoomer, one of the two. I think they both popped it there. And we go ahead and take him out, as you see, in just a matter of seconds. Now, this next part, unfortunately, I don't think you can speed up too much. So you just kind of have to bounce around, survive. Don't let the zombies trip you up. Luckily, it is only round 5 since we did this so quickly, and it will be pretty easy, so just make sure to keep your eye on everybody's health. I about went down there, and just make sure that everybody is on the same page. Now, we did also bring in a few Phoenix ups. Those were completely optional, and we accidentally got them, so if you do get lucky and something like that does come into your Gobblegum machine, definitely grab it, because if somebody makes the mistake of going down, that is a quick and easy way to get them up and retain that perkaholic that we used earlier. So once you fry out all these zombies, you're going to want to immediately pop that free fire once again. I think Kay popped hers preemptively here because we knew Patient 13 was going to pop out in at least the next 30 to 40 seconds. So she went ahead and got that ready. So that way the moment he pops out, she can just go ahead and finish him. And I keep support. I use mine last, so I'm going to grab this max ammo here. And then Kay starts blasting him with the drill charge. Now, you have to be careful on this phase specifically, because once he takes enough damage, you actually have to hit his tentacles with the drill charges because his body won't take damage. So make sure to aim at his tentacles once it changes to that, to make sure to do it as quickly as possible. We were keeping track of the time. Absolutely shaking and sweating here. We were going for the first place world record. Those guys had a phenomenal run at 13 minutes and 19 seconds, but we didn't get that one. We're already past that point, but we did do a phenomenal run here that scored us that second place on ZWR. So eventually we will go for the first, but you see here we had to pop that Phoenix up, and that came in clutch, so we're able to use that. And you just want to push through these amalgams and manglers just as quickly as possible. I would use drill charges if you have them. They are super quick at taking out amalgams and manglers and make quick work of the specials, so that way you can get them gone. Now, I don't know if there's a way to speed this up, to be honest. I think you just have to kind of survive, and after a certain amount of time, Patient 13 will return. Now, this is about to be the final phase, so this will be when I pop my free fire. And again, just make sure everybody is in understanding as to who's doing what when, because communication in these runs is key. And I think I use an Ether Shroud here as well, and once he popped out, his tentacles were actually the only spot I could damage for a split second, but once that's done and he turns blue, I can go ahead and keep blasting him with the drill charge. Now, it got a little sus here, a little sketch. I was a little worried, but there he is, taken out. We killed him at the 14-minute 50-second mark, and I think our total record ended up being 15 minutes and 20-something seconds. So the moment the fade to black happens, that is when your time is cut. Now, I hope this video helps you guys to speedrun Terminus. Try it out for yourselves. Check out ZWR. and try to go for some records yourself. And happy looting, Goblins. We appreciate you for watching. Go grab yourself a record, and thanks for watching.